Hey, have you heard? Four-Legged Life has a new digital newsletter. Here, let me show you how you get yourself subscribed. So you just type in Four-Legged Life, and that'll take you to the website. There we go. And this magic thing just appears, and you type in your email address. I'll use, let's see, how about coolestdogever@gmail.com. That's me. And then you just click on this thing here. There you go. It's the new digital newsletter from Four-Legged Life. Get subscribed today.
I have met a guy. His name is Bryan Kortis, living proof that real men love cats. And this whole disaster in Maui, I know it's awful when you can't just go right in, but the cats seem to be, many of them, seem to be very savvy. I've seen some clips. There was a cat named Mambo that is actually like a white and torty cat, and came out and looked like a gray cat because of all the soot and ashes, and was able to be rescued and reunited with people. What's the importance of, I know it sounds basic, get that cat microchipped?
Oh, in a disaster scenario like this, it's everything. Because otherwise, so if we catch a cat and they have a microchip and it's current, it's an easy reunification, right? It's a phone call. When they don't have a microchip or it's out of date, then we're looking at photographs and we're trying to, just try to match a gray tabby with a gray tabby,
Yeah.
And then during the disaster, people lost a lot of their photos. So they didn't have anything for us to match them with. And and then in the disaster scenario of this scale, a lot of people are displaced. So they move off the island or they move into a hotel, and then it becomes difficult to find them. And the whole reunification process is really, really difficult. Whereas with a microchip, the current microchip, it would be quite easy. So it makes all the difference in the world.
Well, yes, and maybe you can be the one being the teacher preacher here. It's great to get the microchip. Doesn't hurt the pet, but a lot of people forget to register, correct?
Either they don't register the chip, so it ends up going back to like the local shelter.
Yeah.
When you're trying to trace the owner, or they move or their number changes and they don't keep it current. So it's important to just put it on your calendar once a year. Make sure all the microchip information is up to date. Just like you would with anything else that was important in your life where you needed people to contact you.
I like that. So how can people help? I mean, I would love to fly out to Maui, cost prohibitive right now, but what are some things people can do in person and elsewhere to help neighborhood cats, help the cats impacted by this wildfire in Lahaina?
Well, we're very much partnering with the Maui Humane Society. And in fact, our work in the disaster zone is under the Maui Humane Society.
Okay.
So they're really the crucial lead agency for the overall I mean, we're there for the trapping and the feeding and direct contact with the cats, but they're responsible for the sheltering and the placement and the raising the provisions. So there's a number of ways people can help. You can go to mauihumanesociety.org and click on their wish list and donate food. We go through, probably 100 pounds a day feeding these guys. There's also, you can obviously give a monetary donation, but they have a very interesting program at Maui Humane Society where if somebody adopts a cat from them, they will fly the cat to you at no cost.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, they'll do all the arrangements. I mean, they're experts at this. They'll do all the logistics, and they will now you can come to Maui and go home with a cat, or they can fly a kitty to you.
Yeah, well, I know. Years ago, remember, it was all the situation with rabies and other things. So what is the policy now on the islands of Hawaii for getting a pet or animal to one of the islands or getting one of them off the island to the mainland?
Well, there's no rabies in Hawaii. So getting animals into Hawaii is a pretty long process. It takes several months where you have to get a couple of rabies shots and then get titers. And get all the paperwork from your veterinarian. So it's a process for sure. But flying cats out of Hawaii, because there's no rabies here, is a much easier process.
And when you say titers, you're telling people it's just another like a blood test to verify that the animal coming to go on a big vacation with you has no signs of rabies.
Right, that the antibodies are at the proper level and that the vaccines have taken effect, basically. So easy to take cats out, hard to bring them in.
Well, did you and Susan, your wife / executive director, we don't know which one is her top position because, we don't know. I'm teasing. Did you bring some cats to the island when you moved?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
How did that go?
It went much better than we could have hoped. I mean, it was definitely nerve-wracking getting them all on the right kind of carriers and then arranging transportation to the airport. And then they had to switch planes. But there are logistics companies based here in Hawaii that take care of everything for you.
Nice.
They schedule the planes. They have people there to make sure the transfers go smoothly. So it's really kind of this door-to-door service that they have. And you have to do your part, which is, all the medical and stuff like that. But, in the end, our guys had to fly it turned out to be like 26 hours between all the transfers and the delays and the time change and all that. And we had a 19-year-old blind kitty, little black and white guy named Paisano. And we were most worried about how's this going to work? How's he going to deal with this? Right. And when we got to the cargo terminal and picked up all the carriers and we opened his door, and he just came out and he was just pissed off.
He didn't get to fly first class. You didn't get any cookies. He didn't get any cookies.
Exactly. He's like, what was that?
Grumpy old man. Grumpy old man.
Yeah, but otherwise he was fine. So they took excellent care of him.
What are some things, if I may ask you, Mr. Former attorney, well, once an attorney, always an attorney, and working with video production, what are a couple things that cats have done for you to make you a better human, Mr. Bryan Kortis?
Well, cats, they have just as deep an emotional life. And if you don't define intelligence as what you're good at, which is what people do, right? People are very good at, algebra or so we do IQ tests to see how good we are at.
Right.
And then we define that as
or Wordle. Come on, let's do the Wordle. Yeah.
Right. So, but if you look at its intelligence as unique to each animal has their own unique intelligence, and so cats are much more sensitive to movement, I think they're more emotionally sensitive to people. They pick up things very quickly. Obviously, their sight and their hearing and their sense of smell is far, far superior to ours. So kind of learning that and respecting that they are just as intelligent as we are in their own way has been real eye-opening. It's good to be humble as a person and not think that, not define the greatest thing in the universe as yourself and realize that we're all kind of different forms of life. So just getting to know cats and learning to respect that. And then also it's like they get rid of their baggage pretty quickly if you give them time and space. Like I've had very traumatized cats and just let them stay in the closet for a week. And then they come out and they're fine.
Well, I don't want to lock you in a closet for a week and make you feel better. But there is a lesson in that because we get all, yeah. So how has that helped you address things like wildfires in Maui and other challenges?
It's just, you do what a cat does. You deal with the moment. You deal with what's in front of you. You do what you can, and then you move on to the next day.
I like that.
It doesn't become an accumulation of, I should have done that, or, I should have done that. It's like, what can I do now? What can I do tomorrow?
Well, I don't know if you know, but I have the most active safety cat, I'm going to say, in the world. And he hails from the San Diego Humane Society. He is a shelter alum. I call them alums. And hang on.
I think we're going to get a firsthand look here. Oh, wow.
I want you
That's a big boy.
to meet pet safety cat Casey. He's a certified therapy cat. And for those on YouTube, he's a ginger boy who has never met a stranger or a strange place. He's been to 15 states, and he wants to tell you, Bryan, I want to thank you on behalf of all felines for helping the cats in Maui.
Oh, he's adorable.
Have you been thanked by a cat before?
Never on a podcast.
Well, he has a big heart, and he knows that you're doing good things for other felines. So I just wanted you to know, even the cats are thanking you, Bryan.
Oh, well, it's my pleasure to be able to work with them. So,
all right. So we got to make sure people go to where to find out how they can help. Give us some of the links.
Go to MauiHumaneSociety.org, or you can go to neighborhoodcats.org.
Thanks so much for making our tails wag by watching this guest interview from Arden Moore's Four-Legged Life.